Thanks. Every year, hundreds of people die from extreme heat in the valley. That's why when the city of Phoenix and Maricopa County saw a decrease in heat-related deaths last year, it became a point of pride. But was there actually a drop? Here's ABC 15 investigator Nicole Grigg.
Out here, people die all the time from the heat and at an alarming rate. Here are the numbers. Officials say last year, Maricopa County had 608 heat-related deaths. That's actually down 37 from the year before. But when we went through death records, we found dozens of cases that raise a serious question if heat is being ruled out too often.
This is a public health crisis. It is a public health emergency. People are baking to death.
This is a list that the public rarely sees. It's every person who has died with heat playing a role.
People are dying really awful, preventable deaths.
The list is kept and updated by the Maricopa County Medical Examiner's Office. But there's also a second list.
There's also what is known as the transient death list, which is a list of all of the presumed unsheltered people who pass away in Maricopa County.
The ABC 15 investigators finding that there are dozens of names on that transient death list that were not counted as heat deaths but possibly should have been, including a 72-year-old man who died last July.
This person, it says that they were found outside in the middle of July with 16% surface area burns to the body. And it is not listed as a heat death. He was found on the sidewalk.
Yeah, how is heat not a contributing factor to that person's death?
The official cause of death for him was complications of thermal injuries, but he was not counted as a heat death.
If I am thinking about where people may not notice, people who just die, where is that going to be? It's going to be on the transient death list. It's going to be on the list of people who are already being forgotten by our society.
The ABC 15 investigators spent months reviewing over 150 preliminary investigative reports from the medical examiner's office of people who were homeless when they died in 2024. We found at least 50 cases that raised the questions on why they were not on the official heat death list. That includes 27 where the preliminary submanner of death was listed as environment heat associated.
Why didn't they find this? Why aren't they doing something and more about this?
I'm a former coroner.
Dr. Christina Vanderpool was a coroner in Pennsylvania.
It is, in the end, an opinion of the physician completing the autopsy and writing the death certificate.
You can see what Dr. Vanderpool means in another case where a man was found dead on a park bench in the sun on a 112-degree day. The medical examiner dismissed that it could be a heat-associated death because he had used drugs and, quote, had a credit card, shelter ID, and bus passes, which he could have used to escape hot environmental temperatures.
With your expertise, can you come up with a reasonable explanation with why these would not be heat-related deaths?
I can't. I mean, all the ones that I looked at, I would have, based on the information I saw, I would have included heat as at least a contributory factor.
Local advocate Stacey Champion calls these type of cases hidden heat deaths.
Hidden heat deaths?
I would say found heat deaths. Hidden heat deaths that no one has answered for.
The Maricopa County Medical Examiner's Office says they're confident that heat deaths trended downward in 2024 because their methodology has remained consistent. Dr. Vanderpool says if she could not rule out heat, she would find a way to document it.
I would put it on part 2 of the death certificate. You can even use words like probable environmental heat exposure. You don't have to say it for sure. It's an opinion. You can say probably, you can say possibly. All of those are acceptable.
The Maricopa County Medical Examiner's Office declined to do an interview, but said in an email their office is a national model for how to rigorously investigate and evaluate heat-related deaths. They add that the forensic pathologists use their best medical judgment, but they admit their process does not account for every heat death.
Could they go back and re-look at some of these deaths and do a review panel to see if maybe they missed some deaths?
So yes, I think the time has come to start looking at environment-related, particularly heat-related deaths, and doing reviews like that.
We did ask the county if they do any type of death panel review to look over any possible heat-related deaths, but they did not answer that question. As for why does this all matter, tracking heat-related deaths helps your leaders know how and where to send resources. I'm investigator Nicole Grigg, ABC 15, Arizona.